Fabulous. Welcome, everyone, to the Wheel of Fortuna. So I have been anticipating this for, I don't know, I've known I've wanted to do a special activation for Fortuna probably since maybe January or February, and I started working with her a little bit last year. Um, So what we're going to do today is, let's see, do I just scroll up? Yeah, there we go. Awesome. So we're going to talk about the Wheel of Fortuna giveaway game. Last year I did one for Lakshmi. Some of you were there for that. I'm going to do Lakshmi again next year. I figured I'd just put somebody different in between, a different goddess, and I felt like Fortuna was really calling. And I will explain why when we get into more of her code and the numerology around her and the astrology. We'll talk about the game and basically how it works. So this is basically like a kickoff call. It doesn't mean you have to do the game, but I think you'll want to when you hear more about it. I think it's last year, the people that did the Lakshmi game loved it. It's really easy, it's fun, and you learn so much about yourself and about goddess energy, feminine energy, the divine feminine. So we're going to talk about the goddess Fortuna. We're going to do a meditation activation. We are going to talk about her symbols and archetypes and talk about her particular goddess codes, the magic of numbers, numerology, and how to manifest with the 10th energy body. So this is a spiritual body, and I will go into more detail. This is just like a rundown of what the agenda is for today. And then we're going to do the Gobind Day chant. This is like basically rapid manifestation technique for specifically for money and wealth. And then we're going to look at your personal gift number, and so you guys will all each calculate that, and then I'll do some little numerology readings based on your numbers. Some of you may, I'm assuming some of you will have similar gift numbers, but yeah, we'll see. So this is just part of the fun for today. And I'm so excited to see you all here. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Emily. I see Tina. I see Tamara. Let's see. I think I have to scroll down. Juliana, hello. Leah's here. Wonderful. So great to see you. Let's see if there's something in the chat here. Good morning, Tina. I'll kind of move this over here. So yeah, people may just come in as they need to. Okay, so basically the Wheel of Fortuna giveaway game, it begins on Wednesday of next week, September 24th, and runs until Friday the 27th. So basically you'll have a link to the game portal, and then what you do is you earn points as you complete quests in the game, and the more quests you complete, the more points you get, and that means you're closer to winning prizes. I'm giving away like one-to-one strategy sessions, readings, and some other amazing goodies. And there are also uh, three other ladies, amazing priestesses, alchemists doing this with me, doing the game. I don't think any of them could be here actually on the call today, but who knows, they may pop in. So they're going to have their own gifts as well, and prizes. So I think all in all, there's probably going to be like 12 to 15 prizes. So there's a good chance that you'll win something. So there's a leaderboard in the game, and that's how we keep track of your points. And in order to be eligible for any prizes, you have to accumulate at least 100 points, and that's really easy, I promise. And yes, I hope you will join us for the game. So we're going to talk about Goddess Fortuna. So she is the goddess of abundance, radiance, luck, and prosperity. And really at the heart of abundance really is playfulness, right? Um, we could talk about neutrality as also maybe another energy around that, but that's really a lot of that's tied to your gifts and your destiny numbers. We're not going to work on destiny numbers. I'm going to do a whole thing on specifically on numerology on another workshop, but we're just going to go over basically what is the number of Fortuna, which is her goddess code, and then how to use that to, again, play this game of life and not get so caught up in maybe what other people think, other people's opinions, and even some of your old opinions about or feelings and beliefs around abundance and prosperity and wealth, right? So that's again why I decided to not just make this like an activation or a regular workshop. We want to make this a game. So it's going to be fun. And anyways, you'll get more information on that on Monday and Tuesday. So there's basically a quartet of magical teachers, including me, and these are the amazing ladies. So I'm going to just tell you about each one of them and maybe give you a little bit of bio about them. So on the far left is Suzanne O'Gara. Some of you may know her from many other uh, things that we've taught together. She is a professional herbalist, amazing alchemist, magician. I'm going to grab I'm going to grab the bios and read them to you so I'm not paraphrasing too much because they sent me their bios. So Suzanne O'Gara is the owner of Alchemy of Avalon Tea and Herb Company. She's a certified herbalist and practicing priestess and witch of Morgan Le Fay. She has been teaching classes in herbalism and witchcraft for over 10 years, and she runs a 9-month course called The Herbs of Avalon Morgana's Materia Medica. Fantastic. You will love it. She's also the Herbcraft professor for Demelza Fox's Morgan Le Fay Mystery School. So if you look on the pictures here, the third woman, beautiful woman with the beautiful lavender, that's Demelza Fox. She's, we'll go into her bio, but I've taken both of their courses and highly recommended. They're amazing. Suzanne received certification in Western herbalism from the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts under the tutelage of Joanne Sanchez and graduating in early 2011. So she's running her shop and teaching classes both in person and online. She lives in Western Massachusetts on unceded Pocumtuck land. It's hard to pronounce that. With her husband, 2 children, and 2 crazy herding dogs. When not foraging or making potions, Suzanne continues to professionally belly dance and sing whenever possible. She's an amazing belly dancer and singer. Okay, in the middle is beautiful Megan Mermaid. She teaches feminine energy with the magic of the mermaids of Sirius. So for those of you who know me and know how much I love mermaids, now you could probably see this connection. Megan and I have worked together many times for over the past 10 years, maybe even more than that. And I've taken her classes. I've gotten readings. She's an amazing reader, and she has her own oracle deck. So she's a Gene Keys guide and visionary artist. So the Gene Keys are related to like human design. Very fascinating work. She's passionate about helping others discover their creative potential and embrace their divine feminine power. She channels mermaid consciousness, a path to ascension that flows with beauty, intuition, and self-mastery. Through her work as the creator of the Mermaid Empowerment Oracle deck and other offerings, she guides women in healing, awakening, and aligning with their highest potential. Join her to unlock the magic and awaken to her true self. Okay, so the third beautiful priestess, witch, is Demelza Fox, and she is the priestess of Morgan Le Fay and of Aphrodite, utterly devoted to rebirthing the ancient priestesses of Avalon alive in the world and to living the ecstatic and wonder-filled path of a Venus witch. She is the head mistress of the Morgan Le Fay Mystery School. I did the first year. I will go back someday to do, there's 3 years, I believe. And then she teaches the arts of the Avalonian sorceress goddess and training badass priestesses. She's a temple dancer and fusion belly dancer. Again, like Megan, like Suzanne. She is multi-passionate, multi-talented. She's an artist painter. She makes her own costumes, like, and she's an amateur frame drummer. She's taken some frame drum classes with me and other teachers. And she says, "What's the point of life without art and beauty?" Once upon a time, she was also a professional mermaid who sang dirty songs at London sex parties. Hi, Hannah. All right, so I'm going to just talk a little bit about me. Some of you are new to my world. A lot of you already have been in my world, so welcome back. I am the creatrix of the Goddess giveaway games. I've never seen anybody do this like I do it. If y'all have seen someone else, you could tell me differently. And Hannah, yeah, you did the Lakshmi games, and yeah, they are really fun. And yeah, so excited that you're doing this again. So I'm a spiritual teacher, mentor, author, and marketing director. Amongst, many other things, I'm also a drummer and a dancer as well. And I help spiritual healers, leaders, entrepreneurs, um, mamas, coaches. I help all of these amazing women create magnetic and monetizable brands without undervaluing their services by infusing their archetypal essence into their marketing. My clients, again, they run the gamut: coaches, therapists, retreat facilitators, yoga teachers, drummers, dancers, Reiki practitioners, wellness educators, tarot readers, priestesses, shamans, spa owners. They really come to me for packaging offers and marketing guidance so they can get mythic results. Like one beautiful woman that I helped do her launch for her priestess school. She had a $44,000 launch, and it was really exciting. So I'm always happy to see women succeeding, especially in small business in this patriarchal world. So I used to work for some pretty big name companies: Citrix Online, E Entertainment Television, Disney, ABC, Paramount Pictures. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, when I worked for Citrix, I created an email that helped them make basically $1 million in one single newsletter. I had another beautiful, amazing entrepreneurial goddess who was selling tea, and I got her to $1.3 million in sales in 9 months through Facebook ads and email marketing. I'm not doing that work so much anymore. I'm basically more in the spiritual teaching and goddess embodiment. But yeah, I'm open to talking to anyone if they're interested in those services. But yeah, it just that again, it's very intensive, and I'm focusing more on writing books right now and also on raising my 16-year-old daughter. For those of you who have kids, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, or yeah, dogs, whatever. It takes a lot of energy, and a part of what we're going to be really looking at today is how are you outputting and how are you inputting, okay? So thank you for being here and listening about my background. Okay, who is Goddess Fortuna? So she is generally, I would say, she is an Italian goddess, at least in this manifestation. What I would say about her is she is a goddess of abundance, of good luck, of fortune. She's also considered in some circles as she's called Primigenia. And there's also an ancient temple dedicated to her. And I think it's outside of Rome. I looked it up and I don't remember what the name of the town where it was, but Primigenia basically means the primal origin, the seed, the beginning, right? It's saying my internet connection is unstable. Can you guys let me know in the chat if you can still hear me? Okay, thanks. Thanks, Leah. Okay. Thanks, Hannah. Um, yeah, it's sometimes the stuff goes in and out. So what we will say is, so keywords: luck, fortune, abundance, prosperity, chance, which I misspelled here, and also fate, personal and communal. So now, there's different things. Some people look at her as fate, and I think sometimes she's shown with a blindfold, like um, blind luck. Like she's kind of more like impersonal in a sense of she's not just, you know, it's like looking at her from two sides. So I do look at Fortuna as a bit of a dark goddess. She's associated with radiance, right? She's associated with abundance and prosperity, but she's also associated with the turning of the wheel of fate and also chance. Um, so again, we're going to, again, this to me speaks more to the neutrality and to the idea that when we release our attachment to outcomes of what we desire and really open to receive and open to what the universe, in this case, what Fortuna, the goddess of fortune, how she wants to come into our lives and work with us and deliver to us, it's all, you know what I mean? It's about allowing that and receiving that and not necessarily trying to control, right? So I'm not going to say this is about detachment. I would say it's more about non-attachment, because if we're detached, then we're not putting energy towards something. And energy is important. And again, we're going to go flowing into that more as we go into this workshop. But her symbols are the cornucopia, the wheel, and a ship rudder. And she's often shown nude. Again, that idea of prima genera, that the original source, the seed, that nudity, is just like that purity that often, like when we even like we see Venus. So this also connects her to the archetype of Venus. So we often see that Botticelli, Venus on the shell and she's naked. And there's this sense of completeness and wholeness of this primal energy of sexuality, of sensuality, of beauty, right? We cannot live without beauty. That the desire is a force of nature, right? That is really not controllable. She's known as the daughter of Jupiter and Zeus. So Jupiter is the Roman name, Zeus is the Olympian name of, from ancient Greek. So Jupiter, and we're going to tie her in Fortuna into astrology as well. So sometimes she's also named as the mother of Plutus, the god of wealth, or Pluton. Again, hence her connection with wealth and financial prosperity. And yeah, known as Fortuna Primigenia, the original, the blueprint, the seed. Again, I feel like that to me connects to that nudity and connects her with Venus. So, this temple I was referring to earlier called the Temple of Fortuna Primigenia. I don't know if that will actually link to it, but basically it was an oracular temple where people would bring their firstborn children. So again, original, the primigenia, and I think the oracle was written, there were like different oracles written on pieces of wood, like rods of wood, almost like, I'm sure somebody knows the name of this, like the divination done in like Celtic and Viking, where they carved, I think it's more Celtic, where they carved symbols, oracular symbols on pieces of wood. There's a name for that. Ogham. Thank you. Ogham runes. Yay, Hannah. Thank you. Um, so it was similar to this, but obviously, slightly different because it's Italian. Um, and I think the, you know, probably the symbols were different. But anyways, they would all have a child put their hand in and pick the rod of wood. So it was left to a child to predict the fate and the future, which I think is, again, very, very fascinating. So let's look at some of her images, and I think we'll kind of, get more of that sense of, let me move the chat over here. So this one is of her, there she is holding the cornucopia. And she also has that ship's rudder right there. And this is another one that I think is really interesting. Let me see if I have this in my notes, but she, here she is nude and she's holding the sovereign orb, the orb of sovereignty, like balancing it very lightly, on her fingers. And then we're going to look at some tarot, and you'll probably see some of this symbolism here. This is from a manuscript called the Carmina Burana. And this is the 4 phases of life and women. And there's that wheel, the wheel of fate. And there is so you can see there's a similarity between this version of Fortuna and this one. I mean, this one is, naked, but she does have kind of a crown on. But here you could see she's sitting as sovereign queen in the center of the wheel, center of, directing fate and turning the wheel. So the Wheel of Fortune in tarot, we could definitely see that direct connection between this imagery. We've got the people all around, whereas here it's the animals of the zodiac, and the Sphinx at the top. The Wheel of Fortune often represents the planet Jupiter, and Jupiter is her father in mythology. And in astrology, she is an asteroid. So there's an actual asteroid named Fortuna, and I think right now she's in the sign of Aries, which is my second house of money. So I've been pretty feeling the good luck of her hand in my financial life. Okay, so here's another interesting thing. So this is another image of Fortuna, and yeah, I'd have to, let me see where this is from. I have to look at my notes. Oh yeah, back to the Wheel of Fortune. It says the Wheel of Fortune card, like other cards of the major arcana, varies widely in depiction between tarot decks. The card has been modeled ever since the tarot's inception in the 15th century after the medieval concept of rota fortunae, the wheel of the goddess Fortuna. Images generally show a 6 or 8-spoked wheel, often attended or crested by individuals, sometimes human, sometimes a sphinx-like half-human, attired in Egyptian-style headdress. In some decks, such as the A.G. Mueller, the wheel is also attended by an individual wearing a blindfold. Again, that imagery of Fortuna with the blindfold. So the painting of her nude, balancing the orb of sovereignty, was a Dutch painting, around 1530. Make sure I get my, let me go back here. So yeah, what I thought was kind of interesting was this sort of imagery of the world card. I mean, I've never really seen this figure being called Fortuna, but it's again this idea of birthing, rebirthing, and this being the original seed, that wholeness. The world often represents completion. We could look back at, again, this picture here, the Dutch one. It's a beautiful painting. All right, beautiful one. So we're going to do an activation and meditation. Let's see here. Let me. Okay, I don't see any. Okay, I don't see any questions. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And I just wanted to see who was here. It looks like Marla, beautiful name. And Dr. April, nice to see you too. Okay, so we've got a few more ladies in here. Good, I'm glad that that the Zoom just lets everybody automatically, and I didn't know if that would work without me actually admitting people. So this is going to be like basically for those of you that have done goddess practice with me, it's going to be similar to that. And the meditation, people always ask me, well, can you send me what you what you walked us through? And I channel meditations in the moment. Generally, I rarely write them down. Sometimes I'll go back and take recordings of good ones that really worked, and then I will write the words and give them out. But we're just going to be allowing the goddess to move us. So if you do have some essential oil, and I'll give you guys a moment if you want to grab some, but I'm using sweet orange. To me, that represents abundance, but maybe for you, you'd like something more grounding. It's up to you if you want to use this an essential oil. And I'm going to put some in the palm of my hand. And rub your hands together, close your eyes. And even if you don't have any essential oil in the palms of your hand, still rub them together. It's like we're working up the magical energy. Your hands are filled with spiritual energy, are filled with magic. And take nice deep breaths in and out, deep into the bowl of your pelvis. And if you have essential oil, you'll start to smell the essential oil. Go ahead and stop rubbing your hands, and you could allow the energy to flow from your hands. I like to do areas on my face and my head first, and then I like to move down to my neck, to the different chakras, to the heart. If there's a particular part of your body that needs energy or a chakra that needs energy, you can put your hands over that place and just keep them there. Allowing the shoulders to drop. Allowing your consciousness and your attention and your presence to be fully in the present moment. Scanning your body in the front from the top of your head all the way down to your tips of your toes. Slowing down and deepening the breath. And scanning the back of your body from the top of your head all the way down the back, all the way down to the backs of your heels into the ground. Feeling your feet firmly planted on the earth. Continuing to take nice deep breaths. And if you want to have your palms up, facing up on your lap to receive, if you feel like you need more grounding, you can put both hands facing down, palms down. Or if you want a little bit of both, you could have one hand with the palm facing up and one hand with the palm facing down. Great Fortuna, goddess of abundance, of luck, of destiny, of the cornucopia. Be with us now. And you can visualize her like a shimmering gold light showering down upon you with greens and purples, all these beautiful jewel tones of fall, like a cornucopia of light. Just see it flowing and running from the top of your head all the way down your body into the ground. Oh, great Fortuna, Primogenia, bring us back to our original source of magic, to our original source of self-love. Before we were told how to love ourselves, before we were told to have conditions about loving ourselves or loving others. Great Mother of the shining earth star, connect us to your heart, the heart of prosperity, of generosity, of flow, of receiving. And visualize before you a beautiful giant oak door. And Fortuna is here with you. Maybe you see her, or maybe you just feel the essence of her spirit. And she places in your hand a beautiful golden key. And it vibrates and pulsates with life, with energy. This is the key to unlock this giant oak door so that you can move through the threshold to the other side. Go ahead and put your key and turn the lock and open this beautiful door into this magnificent new realm that you step into. There are fruit trees and lush vineyards and fields of vegetables and fruits. You are given a blessing of clarity, of this feeling of safety and comfort. And explore this realm, allowing any images that may come into your mind's eye about maybe future manifestations. And you're just bringing everything right here into the present moment in this beautiful realm of Fortuna. And keep breathing nice and deep and slow and feeling your body, being present with your body. Beautiful ones, receive, receive, receive. Wherever you are in the realm right now, stop and just stand with your feet firmly connected to the earth and sense or visualize, or both, underneath your feet, about 2 feet, is the Earth Star chakra. And this is the chakra that Fortuna is associated with and energizes and strengthens. So this strengthens your ability to walk in faith. It totally flows energy between the heart of the Mother Gaia and up into your body, the lifeblood of the planet. The mother, the great mother, Gaia of abundance. And Fortuna is that radiant earth star. So just see that star pulsating 2 feet beneath your feet, 2 feet beneath your feet in this realm. And maybe you become a tree yourself. Maybe you become thousands of feet tall. Just feel your essence, your spiritual self, your soul like grow and light as it's totally and completely grounded in the earth. Feeling that gratitude for all of the abundance you are receiving right here, right now, in this moment. And draw the light up from that earth star chakra all the way up to your heart. And you can place your hands over your heart center to focus the energy there. And now send that light up all the way up to your crown, igniting your crown and even moving up again to about 6 feet above your head to the soul star chakra. And Fortuna places her hands upon the crown of your head and opens the gateway there for more cosmic flow to come down from that soul star chakra and from the cosmos itself. Just feeling yourself filled with starlight, with all of that abundance of the galactic energies. Thank you, Fortuna, for blessing us today. Thank you for your gifts of wisdom, of discernment, of flow. Of self-love, of self-leadership. Thank you for the gift of the sovereignty of the divine feminine that we now receive and fully embody. And so it is. Keep breathing nice and deep as you come back to the room. Have that nice relaxed glow, I'm sure that you all have. Welcome, Steen. See that you're here. Beautiful. So this next part of the workshop again is we're going to do some work with the luminous goddess codes, and we're going to talk about the codes of Fortuna in particular. So in astrology, Fortuna is asteroid number 19. So when you go 1 plus 9, it equals 10. And in the system I'm using, which is tantric numerology, we do not reduce 10 to 1. We keep 10 as it is. However, I do want to point out that it's not just 10, it's also the 1 and the 9, right? So let's look at the codes of 1 and 9. So 1 is the soul, it's creativity, it's grounded, it's earthy, it's the energy body that is connected to the root chakra. Let's see, I think I need to just move this up a little bit. And the 9 represents the subtle body, gestation, birth, that being pregnant with possibility. It's also the number of divine feminine leadership. It is the number of goddess and also connected with the soul star chakra. And the number 10 is the radiant body and has to do with completion, wholeness, and actually it's also a leadership energy, but it's the divine masculine leadership, and it's the earth star chakra that's associated with it. So I just love that her numbers are both the divine feminine leadership and the divine masculine leadership, because we definitely want to be working from both sides, right? And here we are at the edge of the equinox, right? The edge of the light and the dark, the balance between masculine and feminine and light and dark. So this is a beautiful time to be contemplating this particular code and embodying it and working with it. So let's talk a little bit more about the astrology. So Fortuna, asteroid number 19, and we talked about her number being 10 mainly. So I was looking at the 10th house meaning, which is ambition, reputation, career, public image, rewards, fame, status, position, honors, weddings, legacy, government, needs, authority, and father. So again, if we talk about divine leadership and the divine masculine leadership, this would be that particular house of the zodiac. So it's the 10th house of your chart, of your astrological chart. I forgot to put the 9th house actually on here. So the 9th house is actually associated with Lakshmi and divine feminine, as well as publishing and some other areas. But yeah, that would have been fun to have it. So in Vedic astrology, the 10th house is also the Artha house, relating to the element of earth. So Artha houses are about material success, finances, wealth, and achievements. It's also a Kendra house, or what moderns call angular, which spins the wheel of your destiny, which I love this. I found that through astrologer Lori Lothian, who says this house is about spinning the wheel of your destiny. So again, to me, this is very much speaking to the energy of Fortuna. It was really fun, working with all of this. So let's talk about the spiritual energy. So again, we're talking about the energy body 10 in particular, the radiant body. This is definitely the body, the energy body of leadership. And it's very much connected to the ninth energy body. So I'm not going to go through all of them. When we go into talk about your gift numbers, we're going to maybe touch a little bit on the other energy bodies and the other numbers and what they mean. But the 10th energy body is abundance, wealth, power, and royalty, and wonderful expressions of the divine. It's royal courage with fearlessness and finesse, with this basically this whole 110% kind of spiritual devotion. So it's like all being all in your devotion and having comfort and ease in the limelight. So what I like about Fortuna is this code particularly helps us with the witch wound and fear of being seen, fear of persecution, because, well, we were, and many of us in past lives and even in this life, have had to deal with um, this fear of being seen because of, people putting us down, people saying, well, who are you to be this big, bright, royal, radiant being? Okay. What else would I say about this? I want us to get up for a moment and do archer pose, and then we're going to do a mantra. Um, but I wonder if there's anything else I want to say about the number 10. It's a good idea to wear white for the energy bodies 9 and 10. It does help with strengthening that energy body. Or if you feel like, I need that part of myself, that part of my life or my business, I need to, first of all, I would say be self-led, right? I think it's just as important to be self-led as to, quote unquote, be a leader or lead a team or lead a group or lead other people. Being self-led is just really, I feel like that it's so important for our well-being in all ways. Um, okay, so I'm going to stop the share for a moment. I mean, let's see. I guess you guys could probably see me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I'm really small. That's the problem. I'm going to just stop share for a minute. And then I think I can pin myself. It sounds terrible. I'm going to pin myself. Um, so I would love if you can, if you want to get up, and we're going to do some archer pose, and I might have to back up a lot here. You can just stand where you are. But just to give you a quick demonstration of archer pose, again, this is a beautiful way to energize that 10th energy body. This is a Kundalini yoga move in particular. So if you're standing like on your mat, you could be facing me. I'm going to face to the side so you can see what I'm doing. You can start with let's start with the right foot. So you put the right foot like basically back behind you, and it's I would say it's facing a 45-degree angle. And the left foot is straight ahead, facing straight. You don't really need to see my face right now. You probably need to see my feet or my legs. So the front leg, which is your left leg, should be bent slightly. You don't want them, to go over your toes like that, okay? And then the back leg is pretty much straight. You can have a little bit of a gentle bend, like you don't have to be like locked in the knees at all. In the back on the straight leg, which is your right leg. So stay in that position. And then at the top, put your hands out like in fists with your thumbs up. And then begin to pull the hand back. face this way just so you see. You're here first, and then it's like there, but I want you to gaze over that left thumb in front of you. So kind of like just gently gazing out in the distance and taking nice deep breaths into your belly. And in Kundalini yoga, you could hold a pose 3 minutes. You could also go for 11 minutes on each side. But you do want to do each side to be even. You could also do breath of fire, which is, basically, and that'll make it more intense. Or sometimes I'll just do this and have like beautiful nature sounds or water flowing. And then what you can do is literally just shift to the other side. So the right foot is facing forward, the left is now at the 45-degree angle, and the left arm is back. So it's like you pulling the bow, and then again, bend that front leg, the right leg now, and look over the right thumb. Nice deep breaths. And again, it's like almost like you're gazing out into the future. My little calendar chime. Okay, so just come back to center. We could sit down, but it's a nice. Figured it'd be nice for us to stretch a little bit while we've been sitting down for like an hour almost. Okay, let me share the screen again. So, yeah, so there's the archer pose. Really great for that 10th energy body. And just anytime you want to feel courageous, you want to feel that sense of, I'm really like going for something, right? Yeah, I really love doing this. Okay, so we're going to do a Gobinde chant. So it's a Kriya practice, and this is definitely specifically a wealth mantra. And you could do it 3 or 11 minutes. That seems to be when I've studied Kundalini yoga, that seems to be kind of the way that do numbers, but there could be other ones. If you can only do it for a minute, better than not doing it at all, in my opinion. So the mantra's on the next page, and what you do is you open and close your hands as you're saying it. So I'll walk you through it, but you will notice it feels really good. Sometimes it actually feels like you're powering things up. So how I generally use this for manifestation purposes, I like to do it sometimes before meditation, sometimes after, but it's like, oh, I love to write things because I'm definitely a writer. So I'll write things in my journal or in my notebook, and then I'll do this chant, and there's a lot of energy in your hands. You could actually put your hands on your body if you want to feel like I'm bringing this into my body or into my heart, or you could actually put it into things, right? Into like, if you wrote down like something you wanted to manifest, you could literally put your hands on that when you're done chanting. You could put it into crystals, into water. Speaking of water, I think I'm going to have a sip. So I'll put it over over a glass or even like that, and just you'll feel the energy in the palms of your hands. When we're just going to do, we'll probably do it for a couple of minutes so you get a sense of what it feels like. But the Kriya, this mantra is, it helps to clear the unconscious. It balances the brain, it slows down the mind, it calms the brain and emotions, and it gives you this, again, this sense and feeling of being taken care of. So here are the words, and basically them all, and I zoom out. There we go. I should have done that from the beginning. So each of these names or words is a name of a god or a goddess. So how I do it is I put my hands up like goalposts, and what you do is you say har, 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 gobinde, and then you go har, 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 mukande. So there's it's H-A-R, but it's like har, har, har. That's how it sounds. So I'm gonna say, well, let's do it 3 times. I'm not gonna time it, but let's just do the whole thing 3 times. And so it's Gobinde, Mukunde, Udare, Apare, Kariyang, Kariyang, Nirname, Akame. So yeah, you can do it with me or not. But I would definitely try doing this at least one of the times. So I go har, 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 Gobinde. Har, 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 mukande. Har, 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 udare. Har, 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 apare. Har, 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 hariyang. Har, 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 kariyang. Har, 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 nirname. Har, 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 akame. And again, har, 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 gobede. Har, 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 mukande. Har, 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 udare. Har, 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 apare. Har, 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 hariyang. Har, 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 kariyang. Har, 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 nirname. Har, 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 akame. You feeling warm? One more time. Har, 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 gobinde. Har, 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 mukande. Har, 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 udare. Har, 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 apare. Har, 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 hariyang. Har, 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 kariyang. Har, 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 nirname. Har, 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 akame. Woo, my hands get tired. So you could put your hands and move that energy into your body, into a glass of water, into, I've got a crystal I want to put it in. Close your eyes and just let that energy move through your body. Letting that energy settle. So, I mean, I start to feel heat. I don't know if you want to maybe say in the chat if you had any sensations. I would love to hear. Yeah, I get like more like I almost feel like there's like a muscle thing that happens for me right here. Yeah, warmth and tingling. Your palms are blazing. Ooh, I love it. You feel heat too, feels very nice. So this is a radiant body visualization. And a lot, like I said, a lot of times I'll do a meditation before I do the hard, hard, hard. So I probably should have flipped these, but since we're running a little bit long, I'm not going to do a demonstration of this, but you could do or you've got that heat built up, and then you can imagine that heat radiating out like a sphere around you, and let it extend. And again, sending out love, sending out your manifestation desires, all of that would work with this visualization. And I'm going to make sure when I send you the replay, I will email you the PDF of this so you have it. Because otherwise, yeah, it's going to be interesting trying to obviously remember all those mantras. Okay, so I really wanted to play with some numerology with you ladies before we end today. So we're going to talk about the gift number. So in tantric numerology, there's the soul number, there's karma, there's destiny, there's gift, and there's path. There's probably some other ones too, but I wanted to talk about the gift number. So this is the sum of the last two digits of the year you were born. I was born in 1968. So my gift number is 5, which is like, it's so like right on. 5 is the teacher, alchemist, speaker, writer, and it's actually the counterpart, one of the counterparts of the 10, which is again so interesting. 5 and 10 go together. So basically you want to think of your gift, it's like your superpower that you came to the planet with, so you can use it to up level all situations in your life and business. It's like the natural thing that it's like that you could just like basically just lean into anytime you feel challenged, right? So if you all want to figure out what your gift number is, put it in the chat, and then we can do some readings and see what everybody's gift numbers are. Okay, so if you are a 10, you don't reduce that to a 1. But if you have an 11, you have 2 numbers as your gift number. You would have 11 and 2. Okay, we have 5s, we have 4s, we have 3. Emily, you're 13 is 1 plus 3 is 4, so you're a 4. So we have 3s, 4s, 5s. Okay, anybody else? That's pretty interesting. Okay, if anybody else wants to pop their number in there, feel free. Steen, you're 10. Well, look at you. So Daniela, you are a 10. In this system, we don't reduce 10 to a 1. Although the 1 and the 10 are related. So the 1 is the soul. We talked about that. And anytime we have a 0 in numerology, it means expanded. So a 10 is the 1 expanded. So it's the radiant self, it's the universal self is 10. So we have some 10s, and we have 5s and we have 10s. Look at us. Okay, so gift 5 people. You are alchemists. You're like the all-in gung-ho. Usually if you're feeling strong in your 5th energy body, the 5th energy body is actually the physical body. So anything to do with, like I said, speaking, teaching. And with the 5, it's like we're teachers with a side dish of leadership. If you're a 10, you're a leader with maybe a side dish of teaching, right? But the 5 is the alchemist, because the body is considered the alchemical vessel that transforms energies. Let's see, we have 3s. So 3 is called the positive mind body. So it's associated with the solar plexus chakra, and the positive mind is basically like a builder and an architect, right? It's like you build things, you architect things, you're probably very good at building systems. You know, threes are systems people. Like um, I have like a lot of nine in my chart. So nine people have a hard time, if they're challenged, have a hard time completing something, have a hard time being consistent. So I look to my number three people to kind of help come in and guide that. Okay, four, we have some fours. So four has to do with the heart chakra. Four is the neutral mind. So it is important for fours to it's all, fours are all about love and compassion, but there is a neutrality to it. There is a non-attachment. There is a balance, right? Whereas the positive mind, and if I don't know if anybody here is an 11 or a 2. So 11s and 2s are, have a lot of similarities, but like the 2 is considered the negative mind, which I think is interesting. We don't have any 2s in here. So yeah, so 2 is the negative mind, or the body, the spiritual body associated with the negative mind. And that doesn't mean negative in a bad way. It just means subtractive. So the negative mind is more about discernment. It's also about relationship. And boundaries. Like number twos really have to, when they're challenged, they have a hard time holding boundaries. Um, Threes are assistants. Well, threes are just, again, it's a brilliant builder, architectural kind of a mind. Um, the things with three that they have to watch out for is it's positive, which means it's additive. It keeps adding stuff. So you could get overwhelmed with too much to do, you know? Yeah, that's so, that's something you have to watch out for. I'm not going to go too much into tens because I think this whole presentation was pretty much about 10. Um, so I don't know, Daniela, what time you actually came into the meeting, but I am going to give you guys the replay, and then you'll also get this PDF. Um, so you can look at there's a lot of information about the spiritual energy of 10 and the astrology, and then we went into some other numbers, 1, 9, and 10. um, but yeah, I think it's really fun. Always more ideas popping. Now the thing is, so the gift number is, like I said earlier, this is like your kind of fail safe way to like get back on track if you're feeling like I'm not on track, um, or I'm feeling challenged. You need to go to the positive mind, or if you're a 4, the neutral mind. If you're a 5, you need to get those feet grounded. You need to get on the earth. You need to move your body. You need to sing, use your voice. The fifth energy body is also the throat chakra. So maybe it's writing, speaking, singing, but definitely if you are a 5, you need to be teaching something. Otherwise, you're just feeling like life isn't quite right. Life just, something's missing. If you're a 10, you definitely, if you're, in your strength, you are a leader. You are this enlightened leader for people. Um, and if you're not leading people because of fears of being seen or the witch wound, and we talked about that earlier, then you are in a challenge position in your 10. But generally speaking, when we talk about the gift number is almost always a strength. It's rare that you would have challenges. But anyways, I hope this was interesting for you guys. I know this was kind of packing stuff in, but I was just really kind of geeking out on all the numbers and the goddess codes. And I mean, I really would like to see what other goddess codes are connected to the 4 or the 3. But if you're a 5 like I am, the 5 and the 10 are like, we're like companions, because both the 5 and the 10 are like super gung-ho energy, like have so much to give, and and they want to teach. Um, and the 10 wants to lead, but together the leader and the teacher can create beautiful things. So anyways, I hope that kind of gives you a little insight about yourself. And what's so beautiful about this, knowing your gifts, knowing this particular number, if you weren't aware of that, you're definitely going to be feeling it now. So it's almost like when I started to do numerology readings for family and friends probably like a couple of months ago. And it's so fun because when you tell people their gift number, they're like, I'm not that person. I'm not a leader. I'm not, a writer. I'm not a teacher. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, wait a minute. Maybe I don't teach professionally, but I am really happy and excited to share new knowledge, right? Um, so yeah, these numbers really are helpful. And so yeah, there's different numbers and positions in this different numerology system with the energy bodies that can really be helpful. And when I start putting that content together to teach, I'm really looking forward to it. And also, again, connecting it in with the chakras, connecting it in with the goddess energy and the divine feminine, to me is that little extra step, that extra something, to, as women, to help us really embody the divine feminine, and especially divine feminine leadership. Now, just because there's only one number of your gift, that doesn't mean you don't have all the other numbers. You do. And kind of the goal of this work is to work through like figuring out, okay, I'm challenged in this way, which energy body, which chakra is this associated with? And then you may be working with a goddess, working with essential oils and different kinds of mantras and yoga poses and meditation to help build up that energy body. Okay, that makes sense. I'm glad you're loving this. You're welcome, my beautiful ladies. Yeah, Danielle, you came in a few minutes ago. Yeah, because I didn't see you in here before. It's funny, some of you made these. Oh, Tina, this is so amazing. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So I'm trying to think. We talked about the 3, the 4. So 4 is, like I said, it's the neutral mind, but it's that connection between the mind and the heart. Like you really cannot do separate anything. You can't make decisions outside of the heart. Your heart has to be connected to your decisions. Um, and I feel like the 4s really do manifest and magnetize through the heart, through, again, by non-attachment. So I don't know if you've noticed in your life, like if you really wanted something and you were trying to make it happen and trying to control, um, you definitely, things would go sideways. But the minute you were like, you forgot about it, or you're just like, yeah, whatever, who cares? Um, or I don't know. I think you have to care. Again, I don't think this is about total detachment, but it's like this attitude of just trust. It's like this faith and trust that things are coming, things are happening, everything's going to be okay. It's the truth. You always say the minute you let go, it happens. Yeah. Um, yeah, your number of life. Yeah, like for me, I'm a path 9. So, yeah, the path number in tantric numerology is, I think, the life number, the life path number. I think it's the same across different numerology systems. But yeah, it's kind of like easy stuff to geek out about and have fun. So I appreciate you all allowing me to teach this because it's very new for me. It's only, I think I started studying it in January, and people are like, yeah, that's a long time, but compared to like how long I've been doing tarot and astrology, which is over 20 years, well, over 40 years for tarot. Um, so yeah, I appreciate each of you so much. Thank you for being here today, and I hope you do the game. It's going to be fun, and there's going to be amazing prizes and so much learning and community. It'll be really fun. So with that, I will say have a beautiful rest of your Saturday, and I will see you soon. Ciao.